Right.
So, it's time for Alex's film review of The American.
The American, which is the new George Clooney movie. Or, if you think about the world the way I do, which I'm starting to think is not that many people.
No.
It's the new movie by Anton Corbin,
who makes lovely trouser presses.
Who you might be familiar with. He's a music director, mostly, who did all the Depeche Mode videos.
Oh, yes, now I know why I was ringing
And
this
Joy Division and things like that. And
Didn't he also do Crash?
No.
The Joy Division. Oh, Control, sorry.
Yes, Control. There, we're getting there, yes. His directorial debut was Control, and he seems to have moved into films. This is his second film, The American, as we say, starring George Clooney.
Before we continue, one second, I do love the interactivity of radio. My friend Ben Ukulele just texted me saying...
Ben Ukulele, excellent.
He wants to know if I want to go see Red, because I said I haven't seen it and I want to see it tomorrow.
Right.
So, just moving on. Sorry.
Anyway, let's go.
I love the interactivity
of radio.
you can
tell me what it's like next week. It'll still be at number 6, most probably.
Still will be.
Anyway, so yes, George Clooney in the American. Right,
yes.
So George Clooney stars as Jack. Or is his name Edward? We don't know. That's mysterious. Who's a mysterious hitman who wants to, at the beginning of the film, wants to get out of the business. Or does he? We're not quite sure. So he takes one last assignment where he must hold up in a small, innocent-looking Italian village. Or is it? Is something darker going on? And when he gets there, mysterious things start happening rather mysteriously, in a mysterious way. Would you like to hear a clip of the mysterious goings-on?
I would, if I could just find it.
Yes, this is yes.
You warned me and I didn't listen.
I'm going to do this, and he went, yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Here's a clip of The American. Mysterious is going on.
Oh, the Swedes. I'm working on that. It's going to take some time. Did she set you up?
She had nothing to do with it.
Pity. You can't stay here. I've made arrangements for you to leave town while I sort this out. Take a right outside the bar, then second left, via Magenta. You'll find a dark blue Fiat Tempra with Pescara plates. I've marked a small town on the map, Castelvecchio. Stay there. Lay low till you get my call.
So, as you might be able to tell from the clip, this is not a film that really wants to deal with plot, because it's an intense film. It's an intense film about moments, a film about intense scenes with intense characters and talking intensely, like we just heard there. So what the camera does is it floats about and decides to occasionally shoot George Clooney, and he's walking along in a suit, and you think, oh, what's going on there? Then you see him doing some press-ups, and you go, oh, but then it's also equally like to shoot a butterfly floating in the breeze and some trees, because what the thing is, you can't just shoot it straightforwardly. What you have to do is be very strange and ethereal and slow about it, because that means we're taking it all very seriously, which is obviously what we want to do. So let's talk about the moments in this film that are very intense and intensely intense. So moment number 1. George Clooney arrives at this Italian village. Well, I say this Italian village, I think it's the set from the Dolmio adverts.
Lots of felt puppets everywhere.
And then Vicar walks over and goes, I'm Italiano, hello George Clooney, I'm Italiano, you come round my house, I make you pasta, I feed you wine, we tell me I'm Italiano. And George Clooney goes, I like pasta, yes, I will come round, but I will show no emotion. And they talk about sin and redemption, because obviously this is a very serious film. We have to take it very seriously. That's all the themes are raised with this talk. With I talk about the sin. You are a sinner. You want more wine? I give you more wine. So that's moment number 1.
This is quite a film already.
Moment number 2. George Clooney goes to a brothel and has a bit of nookie. And we see a lot of the nookie, and it goes on for ages, and we see in fact, all of the woman, and we see a bit of George Clooney's left buttock, because that's how it works in an art film. We have to see all the tits and all the breasts, because we're very artful and intellectual, and we look at these things and go, yes, obviously we're seeing sex, but this isn't about sex, it's about redemption and sin and all that sort of stuff. And, he starts a relationship with this prostitute in a completely anodyne, cliched role as the redemptive whore, which we've seen in all kinds of things, obviously Estrada.
My favourite.
And Leaving Las Vegas. Brilliant Hollywood movie, Leaving Las Vegas, starring Elizabeth Shue and Nicolas Cage. But so obviously that happens, and that's very dull and not very interesting. We see a lot of breasts, but it's very serious. Very serious. Very serious tits. So moment number 3. George Clooney builds a gun in his flat.
Okay.
You see extensive shots of... Oh, it doesn't connect. These are moments.
No, as in out of connects.
Pretty much.
Or
He gets bits in the mouth and he builds a gun. And you watch him build the gun for hours. And he sits there, and then occasionally he'll talk about the gun with other people. They'll have a conversation about guns, and he'll hold the gun, and he'll look at the gun, and he'll build the gun. But, crucially, he'll very rarely use the gun.
Brilliant.
He'll just, because there's not going to be an action scene. No, because we're serious. This is a serious
Lord.
movie. So we're going to look around, talk about the guns, talk about them, but no, not actually do anything, because although this is a thriller, at no point can it actually be thrilling in any way. So we have to sit there and watch him. And what's important, we take all these moments together, and obviously they're not important on their own, they're important as the collective broth that is the movie. So we take them all together in the great big streamers, in this arty art film that's very serious. And what's important about it is what? Well, the nudity is important. The culture Italiano, Italiano, that's not important. What's important is that all of this is desperately dull.
Yes, it does sound
dull.
Quite
it is 2 hours
dreadful.
of George Clooney building a gun in his flat. And you could say it's a parable about love and masculinity. It's a political satire about the consequences of the secular pressures and the church. But more importantly, it is a dull Anton Corbin film who... Actually, I like Control, but he doesn't really know how to tell a story, with George Clooney taking himself way too seriously. It goes on and on and on, and then it goes on a bit more. George Clooney has a coffee, George Clooney builds a gun, George Clooney goes to his flat, he has a picnic, he talks about butterflies, he builds some more of his gun, and at no point whatsoever does anything actually happen.
Great. I don't want to see this film anymore now.
No, people will tell you it's stylish. They'll say it's stylish. They'll go, very stylish shot. People are alluding to some Antonioni movies and the Samurai, all this stuff that I've seen. And it's actually quite good. And those films are intelligently written and actually about some stuff. Yeah. This is written by a man named Rowan Joffe.
Great name.
Not Roland Joffe. Roland Joffe is a director that brought us The Killing Fields and The Mission. No. This is Rowan Joffe. Rowan Joffe, who, according to IMDb, gave us the TV movie Gas Attack.
In that... Mm-hmm. Will there be any gassing attacks?
I hope so, but probably not. We talk about gas. Look at the gas.
It's not going to
actually have any gas.
So it's not. We don't think it'll be as good as, say, for example, Factory Accident Sex, or I Shot Myself,
which is written by the guy who wrote Gran Torino. Everyone should remember.
Who
still likes that film.
I think that has to go down as Tall, Short and Ginger's favourite film.
Right? Yes. No.
Factory Accident Sex.
Yeah. No. I'd rather watch that than watch Gran Torino again. Or this. It is a ponderous, pretentious mess. And do you know who I'm angry with most? It's not George Clooney.
You, the listener.
It's not George Clooney, and it's not Rowan Joffe, and it's not Anton Corbin. It's you, Moxey. Because last week I was like, I don't know whether to see Unstoppable or the American. And you were like, well, the American looks quite good, and I was like, yeah, he's probably right.
The trailers looked good.
He's probably right. I mean, it's Anton Corbin. It's
George
Clooney. It's probably going to be all right. I could have watched a Tony Scott movie with
a train
Denzel
that won't
Washington
stop
and Chris Pine. I could have watched Captain Kirk fight a train, but instead I had to spend 2 hours with George Clooney building a gun and looking at some butterflies. It's dross. Actually, I will just very quickly say, the girl that plays the redemptive whore, which is a ridiculous character, and it's actually quite sobering. The Italian actress who plays Violante Placido. I probably butchered that, but and she is actually quite charismatic, and like every time she's on screen, it's stupid, and she's playing a ridiculous character, and you don't like it. But I could actually watch 2 hours of this and not want to tear my own face off.
Good.
But everything else, including George Clooney, dross.
Absolute
Keep away.
dross. Okay.
Keep away. Not important.